Hi guys. It's quite a warm welcome, thank you. So, my name is Yaroslav. I work for Railsware, and this presentation is going to be about products done Railsware way. I'm going to pick up a few subjects that are, in my opinion, important for product development and Ruby space in general. Okay, I will show how we tickle them in Railsware, and I will obviously show you what the problems are. So I want to start by understanding what the auditorium is all about. So how many engineers do we have here? Can you raise your hand? Okay. How many of you guys are actually doing Ruby professionally? All right. What about designers? Anyone? No? Zero? Cool. Company owners that are looking forward to get some tricks? No? Cool. Ruby? Ruby as well. All right. Managers that are doing the projects? Okay. All right. So I have my iPad with a synchro version because I didn't see nothing at all. So yeah, that's better. So products are businesses. Some people call them startups, but I find the name startup is completely poisoned. And I think that Rework, the guys at 37 Signals at Rework said the same thing. Startups are just generally a very strange word. So we're not going to use it. We work with businesses which are actually web products. So when we talk about businesses, when we get our clients, usually they are financed, which means that they have a shitload of money, and we like that, of course. So when we're talking about the money, the financing of the products, we have to say that there are two types of people that start their own business based on their own money, and they start the business based on the venture money. So when the venture money, what is venture money? Venture money is when you go to investor, you say, we are a really cool team of people that know shitload of stuff to do actually web businesses, and we would like to get your money so we could bootstrap our company, become profitable, and sell for $1 billion. And mostly venture companies, they are looking forward, for what's your team all about? Who are you as a team? Are you a set of engineers? Probably you are, right? What kind of a background did you have? And that kind of stuff. And the second thing they're looking at the market is saying, okay, this market actually has some potential. We are interested in getting the company moving this way. And then they take a look at your idea. So the idea comes at third place, and they say, okay, cool, here's the money. Now be very fast to make us billionaires. And they kick you in the ass and say, and start pushing you. But we'll go further about that. If you start with your own money, you're your own boss. You're one person in the beginning, then you take your friend or a professional party that you want to work with, and you bootstrap much slower. So we work with both parties in Railsware, with venture money and and when they start up with their own money, we actually make more discounts to people that start with their own money because we like the idea of not being pushed, and it's a much better, much more qualified process. So this is about financing and the products. So the roles in a business, are it's not only engineering, right? So you have the board. When you are financed by the venture capital, you have the board. Those are very boring people that know nothing practically, and they sit on a big table. You have those kind of meetings. They are called off-site meetings. They're called off-site meetings because they're being done off-site, so out of the office. And you all sit in the meeting room, and you have a pencil and a little paper and water. And you show your presentation, what will be the future of the company and how actually the company is going to make $1 billion or whatever. And so the board people are listening to that. They're saying yes or no, this is a bad idea. And that's what they do. Also, they obviously gave the money. There's a CEO, a CDO, a CFO, and a business development person, the person that is doing something very cool. And those people push the business forward in terms of strategical growth and well, obviously the CFO is pushing it forward to be completely transparent business. And the biz dev is actually the guy who calls anyone who they want to partner with. Like, you could call Yahoo and say, hey, if you put our website link on the homepage of Yahoo, we are going to make $1 million per year and we will give the half to you. It's obvious that anyone will put a link on a Yahoo homepage to his page, he's going to make $1 million, whatever he does. So the biz devs people are those that make new business. Sales and marketing are actually the people that have those funny little things. This thing actually says it's a very shitty quality because it's from YouTube. So this thing actually says how many active users do you have, and you actually should get into the end of the year. Sales in US particularly, sales is a very pushy work. So you are being pushed very, very hard in order to sell. So whatever the product is, you're being pushed very hard to close the deal, to actually sell. So salespeople in US are very common. Marketing obviously are the people that bring traffic to the website. So internet is all about buying the traffic and then converting it to something more expensive. That's all internet does. So marketing is bringing traffic, salespeople convert it. And there was a very nice guy from New Relic. It's a Ruby startup. It's a very techy Ruby startup. It's one of those techy Ruby startups. I was actually talking to him when I was at the RailsConf. Why did you start a technical company like that? Because when you start a business, you don't only have the tech stuff with you. You have the tech stuff is just a little part, and then you have the business itself that has a strategy that is making some people's life easier, and so on and so on. So I asked him, why do you start a technical startup that engineers only work with? And he said he just enjoys it. Well, obviously engineers enjoy working with engineers. So what he said is that his previous product, they were making a performance validation tool. So they were making actually a profiler that is real time. They were selling it in Java space, and they were getting $10,000 per one license per month. And because the product was so hard to install and so expensive, they were actually selling with it some consultants that were going on site and were actually installing the product for you because you didn't know how to do it. It was very hard. And those consultants were $400 per hour. So he said, well, it shouldn't be like that. The business shouldn't be like that. So they were spending 25% of their budget for engineering and 75% for sales and marketing. And it shouldn't be that way because the product itself sucks. It's a complete garbage. And he closed the company. He actually sold the company. That's very generous way of doing the business in US. He sold the company. He started a new company called New Relic, where you can set up your own profiler for 5 minutes. And people that actually didn't do it will also come up to that later. And you pay for that $70 per month. And he started an engineering company. He said, okay, I don't need sales. I have one salesperson, I have one marketing person, and I have 25 developers. So I actually have a good product now. I can build it, and then I can give it to people, and they can use it. So sales is not really important in startups. So if you are thinking of does anyone here actually thinking of making his own startup? Can you raise your hands? Oh, some Ukrainian entrepreneurs, cool. So you need marketing, obviously, because it's very important to push your message. It's very important to get some traffic to your website, validate it, take a look at that. But sales is not that important. Obviously, people in the US think different. And the rest of the stuff is us, right? It's the engineering, the designers, the product owners. It's in the office. And there are user interaction designers, there are user interface designers, there's a big difference between that. We have no project managers, actually. And there are account managers and product managers. So let me touch a little bit on that. So engineers are obviously us, right? It's the people that write the code. They write CSS, HTML, Ruby, Java, PHP, Perl, whatever it takes to get the job done. So that's engineers, that's easy. Designers there's two types of designers at least in Railsware. We have interaction designers and user interface designers. Interaction designers design interaction, and user interface designers design user interface. And interaction is actually when you think, okay, how the person will be working with the application. What does he even need? Does he even need this application? And the user interface designers say, okay, here's the interaction that I was given, and I need to draw a great user interface where people just should collaborate with it super easily, and they should completely understand how it works. Why don't we have project managers? So who are project managers? Let's just think for a second. Project managers are people who say, okay, we will do it for 2 weeks, and then they go and rape engineers so they can do that in 2 weeks. So who we have are product owners. Those people actually say, okay, what do we need to do in those 2 weeks? What kind of scope do we need to do in those 2 weeks? They take a look at the scope, they talk to the team, they work with the team in some manner in order to get actually the scope done. While project managers would be more pushing the team. They would be listening to the client, they would be pushing the team a little bit, they would be cutting this, cutting that, and we don't do that. Account managers are people that hit the point. So when everything is going wrong, the product owner is doing wrong, the team is doing wrong, everyone is doing wrong. Then the client is going to call a product manager, account manager, sorry, and say, what the hell is going on? Product managers are people who can actually do everything of the above. He can integrate this team together. He can code. He understands what user interaction is perfectly. He can do that. He can work perfectly with designers because everyone says it's very hard to work with designers. It's a myth. He can deploy. He can kill servers. He can create hosting schemas. He can admin tickets. So he can actually do everything that needs to be done. He's like a one-person company that can do everything. So those are product managers, and they are very rare. Please. Yeah, that's good. So the crazy times of startup. When the business only starts, it's quite hard to bootstrap. You have a white page, you can do whatever. You have the idea, right, but the business, or they got funded at the moment. And in US, even if you get your own money, you also fund it. You put it into the company's account. It's not like in Ukraine, where people don't even have companies. And so when it all starts, it's very hard. You have to come up with a style, with a name, with a product, and start to work with your customers, understand who they are, understand their profile. You have to do all sorts of crazy things. And at that point, you as a team have to understand that it's not only about engineering. It's also about engineering, and the team of engineering has to work with the rest of the people to be one entity. So that everyone understands, including the cleaning lady, what the company does, what the product is all about, what the user is all about, and they are moving forward only to that. Also, the thing is that when you start, the idea is not the main thing. Management and the engineering team is the key. So if you are flexible, if you can actually move, if you can change rapidly, if you are agile, the idea doesn't matter that much, because you start with this idea and then you go to the right and then you go to the left and go up, and then you completely change the whole setup, the whole idea, and actually everyone does that. including our clients. The first dollar, it's the thing when you're doing something, you're kind of pushing the product, a few more features, you're pushing the style, you're changing this, changing that. The users are giving you first feedback, and there's a moment when someone is going to give you money. So there's a moment when you actually sell something on your web service, and this is a great moment. So when we only started working with startups, our clients were getting this $1, and they would say, "Yeah, this is the new age, new era," and we were like, "What the fuck is your problem? You just got $1, and you kind of wasted a few hundred thousands." And they were, "No, you don't understand shit. The product it's sold. The ship is gone." It is actually a big moment when you start getting the money, and we've seen it all over and over and over again. How companies transform when they start getting the money. It is a big thing. So, product lifecycle is when you gather all your ideas, because there will be really a lot of them, and you put them in a backlog. You sort them by priorities, and you take the most important one for your business at the moment, and you work on that. So this is some key points from the crazy startup times that we had, when people start pushing at the beginning, when everything starts. All right. So product at Railsware. What do we do? We actually have finished lots of products. I will show some of them, and some of them are very active at the moment. We have Ratepoint, Validity, Playham, Perusal, and Greenflash. I'm not going to talk about each of them because it will take ages, and I can actually talk for a long time. So let me just flick a few screens that we did, if I can even flick. Okay, so this is Ratepoint. This is one of the Ratepoint screens. Also Ratepoint. And again, Ratepoint. This is ability. This is a hidden part of ability, where ability gives people an engine for a product. Just play him. Apple products never fail. This is Greenflash. Oh, thank you. Another one. Another Greenflash. And another Greenflash. I was actually trying to flick through them, not wait ages. Okay, so this is Perusal. And that's it. There was another Perusal. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. So, the process of product development and support. Can you hit next? Thank you. Products versus projects. What are, I know that most companies are doing projects, so you're getting a deal. They tell you, you see, okay, I'm gonna get a little bit this profit on the deal. You get a project, you do whatever you can, you make it as good as you can, and then that's it, you deliver it. Can you hit next? So projects are you're doing something, then you're done. The list is very short. Next. And the products are completely different. Because you do them all the time. You're doing them and doing and doing and doing, and then you understand, okay, actually, there's going to be no end. You're doing it all over and over and over again, and you understand that some things should be perfect, some things should be great, some things should be good enough, but hit next. My second remote. Yeah. So my point is that if you are going to leave shit inside your product lifecycle and you're doing it all over and over again, someone is going to step into it. And someone did it. And it's not going to be nice. Your coworkers will step into it and say, oh, who wrote this piece of shit? There are actually, those coworkers are sitting in here that they were screaming. And oh, who did that? Oh, that me. Oh, sorry. And things like that. So when you are doing product development, you just have to kind of take this oath of product developer that I'm not going to do any shit anymore. Ever. Yeah. Some people did. And next. How do you do that? How do you actually do that? Everything starts with scoping. Next. So we know that we are humans. I hope everyone knows here that they are humans. And we know that human mostly cannot handle 3 or 4 items at a time. If they get a 5th item, everything drops from their hands. There are some people that are more involved, some that are less, and some cannot handle anything at a time. And so that's it. The more scope, there's going to be more in clarity. So when the client starts dropping features on you as a, let's say, project manager, and the project manager is dropping it on the team, and the team starts coding right away, the only thing that can happen here is, shit. So the more text people drop on you, the more misunderstanding you're going to get. Next. So there were things like that, where those are actually comments. When people are talking, hey, do you want it like this? No, I want it like that. In the end, we failed feature when we were doing feature scoping like that. So that sucks. Go next. You also had something like that. You have lots of comments, and it's very clear. Everything is very clear. The path is great. So those are all the bad ways to scope. This is bad. When you send emails to the client, you get back some reply. It all doesn't work. Next. So what you would say, and what mostly I hear people say, that why doesn't the client give us requirements? Just really super designed requirements that I can read, I can put into my whatever where you can put it, and create code out of that. Why cannot clients do that? And the problem is that clients cannot give clear requirements because the clients rarely know what the hell they want. And clients are also human, and they also can do 3 or 4 things at a time. And if you have teams like we have, 30 people, you just cannot scope all the stuff and drop it to the team and manage that and manage the questions and do all that. It's impossible. Well, it's quite hard. It's not impossible. And clients mostly don't want to do it. They're kind of cool clients. They got their cool venture money and they say, well, we have a $1 million budget, so why don't you get it from us? We don't know what we want, so get it from us. And so they want to get shit done. And they need our help in order to do that. Next. So how to handle that? How to handle this problem when clients don't know